Hey everyone, welcome to the Horror Show podcast. I'm Cecil Laird.
I'm Amanda Stone.
I'm Jaime Fuego.
That's right, you guys. She's back. The lovely Amanda from Channel Sundown has made her way down to the Arizona sunshine. Well, not like she's unaccustomed to sunshine out in Texarkana. However, she's back. You saw her on a live stream last Sunday. Or maybe not last Sunday, because I think this might be presented a few weeks down the line from when we're actually recording it, because we recorded 2 others last week, and we're actually ahead now, which never happens. Yeah. But I'm excited to go ahead and do what we always do when we have new people here on the Horror Show. Even if they have their own sort of established brand, I still like to bring them down to our level and talk to them about what got them into horror. And we might have a specifically interesting one, because I imagine that is what eventually led you to Channel Sundown.
Yes,
okay.
Yes.
So let's start at the beginning. So where was your first experience with the horror genre?
Well, that is actually a really complicated question in itself, because I grew up overseas. My parents were in the military, both my mother and my father. Okay. And I actually
You say what kind of military people?
Army.
Okay.
They were in the Army. And I grew up overseas. When I was 5 weeks old, I moved to Germany.
Okay.
And I lived there, and I kind of lived a little bit in the States every now and then, but I predominantly lived overseas. Okay. So my most, I guess, best experience I really had overseas was just getting to know the culture in itself. Mm-hmm. And I had a lot of friends who were just like, hey, let's go see this movie, right? Mm-hmm. So going back to that, I moved all the time. Okay. So I didn't have a lot of friends and everything. And when I was in the base in Germany, I used to go and buy Fangoria magazine and kind of read it. And that's when it was magazine. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's when it was a magazine.
It's not even around anymore.
Yeah,
it breaks
it's not.
My heart.
And I would go to the shop and pick up a horror magazine. I'd read it and stuff.
Nice.
And living overseas in Germany, because that's the first place I lived at, you had basically 4 English channels. You had Sky 1, you had Channel 5, you had AFN, and then you had the German channels. Okay, and a lot of the stuff on AFN is Armed Forces Network, and they are allowed to show a lot of shows, but in order to do that, they can't show commercial breaks. Oh. So a lot of these networks let them show shows on their channel, but other than having commercials, they would kind of have like PSAs. And So that's why a lot of the jokes I say, I'm like, now you know, because the little star, you know.
Yes. Of course. Love that.
Yeah.
Good joke.
So, and of course, the only commercial I ever heard was AFN. Best brands, best prices that are guaranteed, which there's no competitor.
Wait, no, don't do that under your breath. Go for it.
Best brands, best prices, guaranteed.
Nice. Yes. That's so much more committed. I love that. I love that.
Head.
I was like picturing the ditty in my head. I love it. Okay, okay, so continue.
So what I would do a lot is, because I moved around, I have, and I actually talked to a lot of my friends like that. Like Fuego even said to me one day, he was like, you have a lot of best friends. Well, it's really hard to actually establish like one best friend, because I moved every 3 years. Even when I lived in Germany, I moved to Mannheim, Kaiserslautern, I was moving around constantly in Germany. So because of that, it was hard for me to really connect to people. So I would kind of dive into just film in general. And
in Germany, that can go any number.
Oh yeah.
My mom did that. Mom, if you did a German Scheisse video, you tell me, right?
Mom, sure, make me a sandwich.
Now, so Amanda, I'm curious did you connect with fellow horror fans? Is it like much of a thing with kids and stuff you knew out there? Or were you like the black sheep who liked the scary shizzle?
Well, it's unfortunate at the time, because we didn't have so much of a media. Like, you don't really have... I remember I didn't really get into Facebook until actually I moved to Korea. So you didn't have that kind of connective...
You didn't have MySpace or Friends?
Follow-up questions for you based on things you're saying, so I gotta write them down.
So we didn't really have a way for me to kind of connect to people, and because I kind of went to the school where, people were constantly coming in and out, I really didn't have many friends that I connect to on a horror level. I had guy friends, because I'm the young set of brothers. So I had a lot of guy friends who I would talk about film with, period. But it wasn't so much a horror connection that I had with people. That was kind of within myself. Hence, I used to get into Fangoria. I used to get into all that kind of hoopla.
Now, you mentioned your brother. Is he into horror or what?
My brother he's really into horror, but he's more of the person that kind of influenced me more into creature features. He was a huge fan of Jaws, and that's
Well,
yeah.
Preaching to the choir
yeah,
here. We're
Jaws.
both huge creature fans.
Yeah,
Jaws 2 was the first horror movie I ever walked into.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Jaws is, and that's probably a question you asked me.
Yep.
And I'll get
we'll get there.
Yeah, I'll get there. But he's really into Godzilla. He's really into Godzilla.
Yeah.
And he's more of my musical influence.
Okay.
My brother was really into heavy metal. He was really into thrash metal and all that sort.
Yeah,
and
you
that
don't like
kind of,
screaming though, right?
Yeah, I mean, I do in parts. I do in parts, but when
Not
I
a
feel
Chiron
like,
fan.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I would like to hear a song.
Three quarters of Chiron is great.
Well, I like it. I like it when there's a song
Payne.
and then there's a part of the song that deserves screaming. I don't want to start listening to a song like, oh my god, who shot a baby?
No,
you know?
I agree. Like I love the melodic sort of side
exactly.
of Chiron. I really
exactly.
do. Yeah.
Like, I kind of like the kind of like when you hit that one lyric and it comes to that like the feel and the scream comes a part of that.
Yeah.
I'm into that, but when you kind of listen and then it's kind of like
You
I'm
have to
just
decode.
like, yeah.
It feels like you're getting beaten over the head
Yeah.
the whole time.
Like I said, like I was
Being
like, who
bludgeoned?
shot it? Like, I'm so scared. I was like, ran over a cat.
That's
don't
what we're
know.
going for, though.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, you're going for toddlers?
Yeah, enough about me though.
I don't know if I'm on that bad way. Call me old fashioned, but I'm not into the slaughter of children.
So creature
It's all
features,
context.
though.
It's all
All
context.
context.
Creature
exactly.
features though. You said your bro got you into those.
Yes. Oh, well,
That's
and
dope.
that's what kind of gets to like kind of my thing of when I really got into horror because
Please.
I would watch movies on Sky One. And
Sky One.
Sky One, that's an English channel.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And it was
In
well,
the UK, right?
or in the UK?
In UK.
Okay.
And they would stream it in Germany because we had the English kind of channels and stuff like that.
Okay.
And we had kind of a routine. They would have on Thursday nights, 8 o'clock, it'd be Buffy the Vampire Slayer, 9 o'clock would be Angel.
Nice.
And then 10 o'clock would be the movie.
I still
movie of the
maintain
month.
that Angel is more binge attractive than Buffy was.
It is. I was into Buffy until the whole Spike, Buffy.
That's where it kind of lost me too. Season 5 and beyond, I was kind of nah.
That was.
When she
But
came
that's
back-
when Angel started when season 4, and season 4 was like the last really good season of Buffy.
Was season 5 or 6 with Evil Willow? Was that 5?
Five was Glory.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, and 6 was Evil Willow.
6 was Evil Willow.
Yeah.
I did like that one, and I liked the Tara dying episode, but
Oh yeah,
and then Hush.
bored
Or
now.
no, the
The
body
Body,
was
the Body.
season
The
5.
Body.
So I got to
The
give
Body.
credit to the body.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the body. The
Oh
body
shit!
and
So
the
we
Hush
should
are
all
very
just do a fucking Buffy thing because
Yeah.
Britt could contribute on
Yeah,
that too.
'cause I was
Maybe
a
we'll
big
call an
Buffy fan.
audible for
Actually, funny story about Buffy. When I was for my 15th birthday, my mom took me to Los Angeles, and we actually went to the WB set. And this was when Buffy actually died, and I didn't
Which
know.
time?
No,
Yeah.
not the
No,
first time.
Not season 1,
Yeah,
season
not
5.
Faith. Not when the Faith rebirth. Like
Yeah.
when she died the first time, it was
I
Faith,
love that
yeah,
when
Samantha.
Spike collapsed on the
Or
ground.
no, it wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't Faith. It was Kendra. And then when Kendra died,
Oh,
that's when remember the Kendra died. She was actually in. I'm trying to remember the movie. I think it was Girl Fight. I think.
Oh, I didn't
don't
watch
remember.
Girl Fight.
Yeah, but she was in that, and she died. So Buffy died, and then Kendra came, and then Kendra died, and that's when Faith was born.
right.
Yeah,
And not
that's
born,
right.
but
Yeah.
Became
Yeah, that's right. Kendra was season
Yeah.
2, right?
Slayer.
If I remember correctly.
Yeah, no, I believe she was season 3 because.
Well,
no,
Buffy
it was
died
season
at the-
2.
It was season 2 because Buffy died at the end at the hands of the
Yes,
Master. In
Right.
and that's
season
when
1,
Kendra
and-
came.
Yeah.
Because remember, Kendra was killed.
Yeah.
On the hands of
because,
Angel.
Yeah, because that's
Yeah.
when Faith showed up, and that was
Exactly.
because it was season
Yeah,
2
Faith
when
was
Angel was
Faith
evil.
was pretty early. So
Yeah.
Well, we're on a sideshow.
I know.
Yeah, I'm
Let's
sorry.
get back.
Anyways.
Let's get back to you.
Yeah,
Okay,
so what I would do is I read Fangirl magazine. I would watch Sky One, and 10 o'clock they would have the horror movie of the night.
Okay.
And I really did enjoy it, but it was always kind of like the cliche kind of horror films. It was always Friday the 13th. It was always Halloween. It was always kind of like those films.
The
and
big franchises.
yeah, the big franchises. So I kind of dabbled more into the German channels, although I didn't speak German.
Okay.
I kind of caught on to a little bit of it. Like, I watched Godfather in German, and I don't know why I tried to do that.
Wow.
Because it
That
did,
sounds kind of scary.
It did not work. I'm
Godfather
sorry.
with angry like
Sure.
language sounds like it would be really aggressive.
But you want to know some they say they still said the F word, they still said that. But it's different in German. It's Frictisch.
So here I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse in German would be
Yeah.
pretty like.
But
ice cost of ice.
No, but it was a whole lot longer.
Oh yeah, exactly.
It was a whole lot longer.
Right,
right.
I believe that. Yeah.
And so, but anyways, but that didn't work out. But my first major, my first influence in horror, of course, wasn't this film, but this was what kind of drug me more into horror films. I saw this movie. It was late back when you were a kid and you could stay up till 3 a.m. and wake up at 5. The good old days. But I don't know if you could still do it. I can't. I'm kind of a pansy when it comes to staying up late, waking up in the morning.
Yeah. If I do that, I have to have like a runway of about 7 hours.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I would even say slip in, just lay in your bed and just go. No, 15 more minutes of me just waiting here. And that sounds like a great idea. And the 15 minutes come and you're
what I've actually found is that I don't necessarily need to fall asleep as long as I just sit there and lay with my eyes closed for a while. I'll actually say that regenerate a bit.
No.
Well, they say that in a study. They're saying actually waking up 30 minutes before you actually are supposed to wake up and just sitting there and resting your eyes makes you more vibrant in the day.
Really?
Versus just waking up and taking a hot shower.
Oh, that makes sense. I could see that.
Yeah, I can too. I mean,
if I remember correctly, Einstein wouldn't even really like sleep. He would just take these weird little like cat nap type things.
I remember
but he was
hearing
just
that
weird.
too.
So.
Well, of course, he was a genius. Geniuses are typically weird.
Well, when your brain is producing that kind of shit all day long, then
that's
you
true.
can't. Can you imagine? Like, if Einstein was around during the days of, where you can silence your thoughts a little bit, that would be, we would have lost a lot if he had done that, if there had been medication,
That is very true.
Again, big sidetrack.
So one of my favorite movies I saw at 3 o'clock in the morning, I was watching this film, and I remember sitting there and seeing it. And I remember it was, one of my favorite movies is Fright Night. And I remember
the original
Fright Night. Yeah, the original Fright Night is one of my favorite movies.
Brewster?
Brewster, Stephen Jeffries, which I'm getting. This is an interesting fact.
Is that his name, Charlie Brewster? Did I remember that correctly?
No, it's Stephen Jeffries.
No, the character
though.
Oh yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm glad I could pull that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Good job.
Not everything's gone.
Good job. Great
so
job.
did you like the remake then?
I didn't see the remake.
Oh, that's actually one of the really good horror remakes.
I was nervous.
Likes it more than me.
I was nervous. I was nervous to see it, but
Colin Farrell did a great job. David Tennant, how can you?
Yes.
Oh, you're not a Doctor Who fan though.
No, I'm not.
But David Tennant's amazing.
Yeah, well,
and the poor what's his nuts?
Yeah,
Anton Yelchin.
Yeah, I miss him.
Well, now I'm looking forward to seeing it, but it was just such a property that I loved so much.
You didn't want to see it ruined?
Yes, it was one of those things I was.
Did you like the second one too?
I liked the second one.
I just always think of the bowling scene and how stupid it was.
Yeah, but I liked the second one, but like I said, I was staying up late one day, and I saw this movie, and there was a scene of hell opening up in the middle, and then I see this creature, and long story short, I was just like, what is this movie? I don't know what they're saying. This isn't amazing. And that ended up being one of my number one guilty pleasure of all time, and that's 976 Evil.
God. Nice. Yes. 976 Evil. Wow.
That is my favorite movie.
That is a Hollywood Video 2 for Tuesday rental for me. Like that. I love 976 Evil 2. It's really a hilarious title to me. It's like, wait, who are you dialing then? We're still calling 976 Evil.
Well, I actually have a video. I have a video on my channel where it's top 10 reasons to watch a 976 Evil.
Okay, I'm going to have to look that up.
And the only good thing about
967 EVIN. I had to figure it out.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, no, and the only good thing about...
I reversed 6-7.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, the only great thing about 976 Evil 2 is the fact that
I've never
what's
seen
her
part
name?
2.
Oh my God, her name escapes me right now. I'm sorry.
Oh no.
But she
was
married. No, she's not a horror actress.
No.
She was married to Sylvester Stallone. She was
Bridget Nielsen.
Brigitte Nielsen.
Brigitte Nielsen.
Yes, Brigitte Nielsen.
Right.
She was
she was in the third Rocky movie, right?
Yes,
the fourth one, right?
And she was married to Sylvester Stallone. Yeah.
I must break you.
Yes, I must break you.
We all have an approximation of Ivan Drago. By the way, shout out to Creed 2, where Creed's going to fight Ivan Drago's son.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's going to be, That's going to be good.
Did you watch Creed?
Yes,
Creed
I love
amazing.
Creed. Yeah. I'm big into Rocky and 007.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
007 too, huh?
Yes. We actually had a conversation.
Are we excited about Daniel Craig coming back?
I had a whole discussion about this the other day. That would have to be a whole other podcast.
Okay, we would.
That
By the
would
way,
have to be a whole other
just
podcast.
randomly because it's on my mind, Nostalgia Critic just did a review of Tomb Raider, and Daniel Craig is in it, and he's like Daniel Craig acting more interested in any dialogue he's ever delivered in my entire existence, because he was like actually like boom and trying to act and get into it, and it's like now it's just like I can't do both of them.
I've actually heard that he is great in this new Soderbergh movie where it's like a heist comedy kind of thing, and it's it's Logan Lucky.
Logan Lucky,
I've heard he is awesome in that. He's playing like this like ghetto rednecky kind of guy.
Okay, I'll have to watch that.
Yeah, it's actually pretty good. And
you've seen it?
I've seen parts of it. I have it on my TV, and unfortunately, I didn't get to finish it because on my TV.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Stay on target.
If you didn't tell, I have internet issues at my house, and unfortunately, when I stream a lot of times, my film's kind of cut out. Oh. But that's a whole other thing. I live out in the country, and the only provider we can have is Cable One, unfortunately. So we have a lot of drama with that.
You better hope that net neutrality shit breaks off at some point, because
that's what I was saying.
It's the worst for people like you that literally only have one provider. Because if Cable One's like, okay, hey, you want to stream, Amanda, for your channel? Guess what? You're going to have to pay an extra $25 a month to be able to stream to YouTube. You can pay $5 a month to get access to YouTube, but if you want to stream to YouTube, it's going to cost $25. It's insane. Fuck net neutrality.
Well, with Cable One, when I looked it up...
No, I mean, not fuck net neutrality going away.
Yeah.
Turn this up?
Well, I actually calculated it, and if all comes to fruition, I'm going to have to end up paying like $200.
Oof. Yeah. Brutal. Damn.
That is scary.
Because I have my provider right now, which is under $100, but I have to kind of scroll up a little bit due to my area and whatnot, and my live streaming and the amount of streaming that I do. It's already going up to like $100 as it is. Yeesh. Because I only have a provider. It's either that or Windstream, and Windstream is just as bad. Gotcha. So unfortunately, I have history with Windstream. But anyways, I saw 976 Evil, and that was like my favorite film. And I loved it to death, and that kind of got me into it. And I was like, I know, it was before Stephen Jeffries, Evil Ed, decided to change his name to Sam Ritter.
Okay.
And he is now in the adult film industry.
Nice. Wow. I had no idea.
Yes. If you watch my video, you see that's my number one reason to watch it.
Wasn't he doing like gay porn or something like that?
Yes. And if you watch,
how do I know that?
Yeah, he gets my
Fuego. I think that was a little too. Isn't he into gay porn? I mean, I wouldn't know. I'm just pretty sure that's what I heard about this.
I think I'm remembering from watching her video.
Yes, it was
exactly.
From more than a month and a half ago. Wait, that doesn't track.
No. I had a visual. I had a little clean visual on the side, and
gotcha.
And I did some research. Unfortunately, I was like, I don't believe that, and I did.
He's like a big old beefy boy.
He is.
How do you know that much?
I saw the photo.
Yeah, okay.
I'm remembering now.
No, the photo, he's clothed.
I'm remembering now.
Exactly, remember.
Fuego, he was clothed in the picture.
Member.
He's like, I can tell. He's still Ben Swolo to me.
You can tell by his eyes, Fuego. You can tell by his eyes he was beefy.
Yeah.
Sure.
I saw his shoes were large.
Yeah. You know what they say about big? Exactly.
All right, so I'm gonna refocus us here. Okay, so what was the subgenre that you were attracted to the most? Was it the creatures? Was it the anything else? I mean, I know we touched on that.
And that's the hard way to kind of pinpoint it, because I love them all. Mm-hmm. So the best way I can pinpoint it, I like a film that's either really, I'm not going to say twisted, but has a lot of story, no matter if it's creature or what, that has a lot of like, I guess, undertone within the story, so like kind of like Get Out,
allegorical stuff. You mean, or
kind
like
of
subtext?
Subtext.
Basically, it has to be either really good or really, really bad for me to love it.
All right.
It's kind of like either Get Out or Tromaville. Gotcha. We have the kind of Topless Avenger. Yeah. So it's either like Mulholland Drive or Duke Nukem High.
Or Roma stuff.
Duke Nukem High. I would like to see that.
I know. Wouldn't you? Awesome. Like, I'm thinking of like video games right now. Like Duke Nukem.
Duke Nukem High.
That was my first video game.
Oh really?
Yeah, Duke Nukem.
No, so I wish I loved some of his I wish I remembered some of his one-liners.
When he goes to strip club.
In strip club, yeah. Oh my god.
They were all stolen one-liners from Ash from Evil Dead, though.
Yeah.
That's where he stole like most of his one-liners, right?
Oh really?
Yeah. That sounds like a lot of things. But yeah, I had then when I moved to Korea, across the street we had this kind of VHS kind of off the wall kind of a rental place, and I would go over there. And the thing about it, it wasn't like a Blockbuster. It was just like you walk in, it was a room kind of like this one of just VHSs all on the thing, on the wall. Well, because it's owned by a private guy, he didn't really have like the new releases. Like you didn't have like Transformers, you didn't have like Harry Potter. You had just like old films, and half of the films were just him with a marker that just wrote on the film. So there's many times that like I would rent a movie and put it on, like I rented American Beauty, ended up being American Splendor. You know?
Oh, really?
Yeah, like, you know, and I'm just like, I know, I love that movie.
Based
I do.
on a comic book.
But it is. It is.
Giamatti, shout out.
Paul Giamatti's amazing.
Hell of an
And actually, funny story with that is because that's when I first saw The Wall.
Oh, really?
And,
so good.
My funny story about that is this is before internet was kind of like, I mean, internet was around, but it wasn't as functional. You couldn't just get it on your phone or anything.
56K?
Yeah, and I rented The Wall, but on the marker it said Off the Wall. So here I am moving to the States thinking I'm just so, you know, hipster, and I'm so, you know, I'm like, have y'all seen Off the Wall? Like, this is an amazing film. And people are just like, you know, I don't know that film, so I'm sitting here thinking I'm knowledgeable in horror. And just Pink Floyd, I'm like, hoity-toity. I'm just like, have you ever seen Off the Wall? And they're like, no. And funny story about that, too, is I rented Halloween 2, and then I was watching Halloween 3, excuse me. I was watching Halloween 3, and I was like, damn it, it's another fake movie. This is not the movie. And it wasn't until years later that I moved to the States, and I was like, oh, this is Halloween 3.
Yeah, I think Halloween 3 is underrated. It has nothing to
do with Mark Myers. I did not know. I thought it was a mislabeled film. But anyways, but that's what kind of like got me into it. And then from there, you know.
So like pillaging the rental store,
yes,
right?
and then I
think
got
all
on
of us did
Netflix.
that at some point.
Yeah, and then, because like there, I saw like films. I saw Martin. I saw Basket Case.
Yeah,
nice.
I love Basket Case.
I would rent
too.
like all those awesome, just old movies, and then Netflix came along, and that's when I started. Back when they used to mail you the DVDs, which
They still do it. I still get DVDs in the mail.
Because I was gonna say, unfortunately, they quit that, but Fuego told me they still do that, so I need to jump on that bandwagon.
Yeah,
right?
no, I was doing it for a while too when I had a DVD burner, which I no longer have. So what's the point?
Yeah, and that's how I saw Attack the Block and a lot of these other movies.
Love Attack the Block.
Attack the Block.
Very young John Boyega.
Yeah, and I saw a long time ago, and that's what we were saying. That one time I was like, I didn't realize it was John Boyega that was in the film because I saw when it first came out.
Yeah.
So it came out in 2014 overseas. So that's when I saw it. So you have to understand, like, it's been a while since I saw that. So when I saw, you know, Star Wars, I didn't really put the 2 and 2 until I was doing my favorite holiday films. And although Attack the Block isn't really a holiday film, I kind of feel like it kind of has a New Year's aspect. Yeah, exactly. And I rewatched it, and that's when I was like, oh crap, that's
Finn.
Yeah, I remember I was like, that's Finn, and you guys were like, how did you not know that? I'm like, well, you guys watched it in 2016, okay? I watched it in 2014. I had a few years to kind of, you know, sit there and kind of, you know,
let it fall away.
Yeah, exactly. So just that kind of like a rolling effect of just like doing that and stuff, and just reading and just all that.
So where does that leave you now? Let's go through, because again, when we do these horror histories, I'm going to have to pause to come back because we're going to go over our 30 minutes, but that's fine because it's what happens when you get a good horror conversation going. So what do you... Let's go through the subgenres, and you tell us your thoughts on them, just if you had to encapsulate them. Okay? So let's start with... Yeah, we'll start with creatures. Go ahead. Creature features.
Oh, see, that's a really hard question to really answer because there's not a lot of modern creature features that I actually like.
Okay.
So when I actually think of creature
feature... The Void,
feature,
the Monster?
I like the Void.
Okay.
I did like the Void and the Monster, but I'm not really so much into... I liked Kong Skull Island.
That was fun.
But it's... A lot of newer horror films, I don't know why it's harder for me. I don't know if it's a nostalgia feel, like, I don't know, but it's really hard for me to actually sit there and like a film as much as I did my older films, if that makes sense. Like, I like The Monster because the whole story and stuff. Like I said, I love creature features, but I also like stories. So, like, the Monster...
So it has to be more than just people getting chewed on.
Basically, yeah, and I feel like that's all I really get right now. I'm trying to think of...
Well, the whole being disillusioned with current horror, you're not alone. A lot of our contemporaries, whether Eric from the Death Twitch, Dino from Late Horror Show, I mean, a lot of these peeps of ours, they feel the same way. So
and
you're not alone.
But the thing about it is I still watch older... There's so many older creature features that I've been getting into.
I just learned about Extra, which I want to watch so bad.
Yeah, there's this one that I saw recently, and I'm trying to remember the title of it, but it was so good. It
80s,
was
90s?
No, it was the same, kind of the same way of, I don't know if y'all have ever seen The Host.
Oh, yeah, that's actually
yeah.
one of the things I wanted to ask you, since you're familiar with the Korean culture.
Yes.
Do you gravitate towards Korean horror movies?
Yes, I do. And that's another thing I was getting at, more of the foreign creature features.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
the Host
kind of
is amazing. Did you watch The Wailing?
Yes.
Okay, so we'll have to... Did you do the review of it yet?
No.
Okay, shit, I did a review. Fuck. I did a solo review because I didn't think anyone would watch it.
Train to Busan was also Korean, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
That one was awesome.
And actually,
and
so it's kind of a loaded question because I do love creature features, but lately I'm guilty to say I have not watched a lot of creature features as of late.
There's not an abundance.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
what I'm saying. And yes, exactly.
So
that's what kind of like the creature features. There's not many films I can think of right now that has just the total package of the creature features. Because The Void, although it was a good film, I didn't really think of it as a creature features, much kind of like a body horror kind of thing.
Okay.
Maybe a little
bit. I didn't really see it as a creature feature.
Okay.
Because I love The Void. That was actually my countdown of, the best horror films of the year. I love The Void.
Okay.
But I saw that more of kind of like a body horror thing because it kind of reminded me of like The Thing meets, what's that other film we talked about? Like, it kind of...
Society?
No, not like that. I love
body
Society.
Horror.
I love Society. That is a good one. It's actually, I believe it's on Amazon.
Some of the practical...
I think it's on Amazon right now.
Some of the practical
I think so, because I was trying to tell my other friend, my co-host Matt, to watch it. But Society is really good. But it is that body horror, and it has more of that kind of comedic kind of way, I guess. It's not so much funny, but they kind of take the kind of trauma aspect. Like, they kind of take trauma and they kind of go with it, but at the same time, it's really, really good effects. Because it's a practical.
Yeah.
So that's what's very great. But although it is very, the best way to put it, there, without spoiler alert, a face shows up on a butt, basically.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so if
he
he forms and, hey, hi, I'm looking at your ass.
So that covers creature features. Then let's move on to, since you mentioned it, the zombie subgenre.
I am a huge fan of zombies.
Walking Dead?
Yes, I'm a huge fan of The Walking Dead. I'm a huge fan of zombies. That being said, I do feel like it's kind of overkill right now.
It's been overkill for the last 7 years.
Yeah, it has been.
Pretty much. Since that show got popular.
But the whole thing about, even though I say zombies...
Who's your favorite character on Walking Dead?
Lori. No, that's not.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm like, nobody said, no, I'm joking.
You just
Somebody
had
asked
everyone
me.
in the audience. Marsha especially just got her dander up.
No, actually,
she doesn't even know why, but the hairs on the back of her neck just stood up.
No, but actually it's a funny...
Well, that's because she loves Bernthal so much. She feels the burn.
Well, Marsha appreciate this comment. Somebody asked me on my live stream, they were like, if you could bring back any character, what would it be? And I said Lori's, just so I can watch her tag him.
So that was that new thing called sarcasm. That's so popular with the kids these days.
That new thing.
I was like, I would love to see Lori come back.
So what other zombie movies have caught your attention? We don't need to dive deep, but what are some of the...
Oh, there's so many of them. Oh, gosh.
Were you a fan of the... Are you a fan of the Running Zombie, like the 28 Days Later, or you...
I love 28 Days Later, but I don't consider 28 Days Later a zombie film. I consider that an infection film. Yeah. I do consider an infection film. The reason why, because zombies is when you die and come back. So that is my...
They're not fucking alive. Like, they're
okay, my favorite zombie
with a rage
film?
virus.
Yeah, you want to know my favorite zombie film is?
Is it an Italian?
The Serpent and the Rainbow.
I actually will be totally down with voodoo zombies. Fuck yeah.
That's the original.
Dude, The Serpent and the Rainbow is one of the scariest movies I've ever seen because of the buried alive aspect alone.
Well, no, that's where George Romero got the idea of the zombies because of the voodoo practice of zombies. And that's why I love, because what it is it's a practice that's within the voodoo culture where they kill them.
Early.
Yeah. Early Bill Pullman. Where they go, Wes Craven.
Yeah.
It's when
Wes Craven.
Yes. It's when it's a practice of just having a body and killing the body, but keeping the mind and awareness. So imagine being zombified, not an aspect of you coming back to life and just being a flesh-eating creature, but imagine having no motor capabilities of your body, but knowing, like, being awake while you're being buried.
Yeah, that's really rough.
That is my favorite zombie film.
Is horrible.
And that's
it reminds me of that Tales from the Crypt episode where dude is dead and he's like, he can't feel anything. He's still aware and stuff. Exactly. That's one of my favorite Tales from the Crypt.
I actually thought that was a Twilight Zone episode.
No, it's Tales from the Crypt. I reviewed all
Well, I thought there was also
maybe there was.
There was a Twilight Zone episode where it was a Twilight Zone episode, and I can't remember the title, but his body didn't have any motor capabilities. He wasn't alive, and the only reason why they knew he was still alive because a tear streamed down his face.
I remember seeing shots of that.
Yes, and it was a Twilight Zone episode. So
what about your Zombielands?
Do you like the comedy when it's?
I like Zombieland because they talk about Texarkana and Zombieland.
Or anything like that?
I love Shaun of the Dead.
So
I do.
You're not against comedy and zombies?
No.
Okay.
I'm not. When I say that, like, I don't like. I love, zombies. I just don't feel as much as I did back in the day.
Okay.
You watch Redneck Zombies.
Did you see The Girl with All the Gifts?
Yes, I have.
Great movie.
That was a good film.
I love that movie.
But like I said,
you two should review that since you're both here because we don't have a review of that for the channel yet. So.
And I like zombies, but like I said, it's becoming more of a kind of popcorn kind of fun time versus when I used to actually fear zombies, because it's so you have an app now, you turn into zombies, kids are getting zombie stuffed animals. It takes kind of like that fear out of it. So as I do,
kind of defanged and declawed,
kind of. So I do enjoy zombie films, and I love The Walking Dead. But the reason why I love The Walking Dead is not so much of the zombies. I love the fact of the realism of kind of you can say Negan's a bad guy all day long, but there are really no villains in that show.
It's all shades
It's
of gray.
all about it's all about how you take your circumstance. Because even Rick, people want to talk about how awful Negan is, but y'all don't forget. Rick let people die. Rick would be driving, and people would be calling for help. And remember the hitchhiker?
He's even worse in the comics, though. I tell you.
Yeah, well, and it shows the human behavior, I guess, and that's what I love about it, because the zombies, first and second season,
it shows how people will act in tons of desperation and
the first two seasons was zombies, but then after a while, the zombies were kind of like a side,
their background,
exactly, their background. Although they're scary, you're still fearing.
You fear the other people more.
Like they say, the tagline is "Kill the dead, fear the living."
We sing that in one of our songs, "Endless Grave."
You did, I know. When I heard it.
Now, okay, so I'm gonna press on.
I made it out.
So I'm gonna press on.
How about vampires?
Well, okay, yeah, we can do vampires next.
Oh, yeah, I have a lot to say about that.
Okay.
I have a lot to say about everything.
Go ahead.
Vampires.
Again, we're trying to encapsulate here.
I guess that
we can do deep dives into each thing if you want. So overall thoughts on vampires, because there's a lot of subgenres.
Yeah, I mean,
and we have a lot we got to do.
Yes, vampires. I do like vampires, but I do like. When I think of vampires, I think of like Lost Boys, Near Dark, Martin, Transfiguration. And one of my other favorite ones is, I don't know if a lot of people have seen this.
Let the Right One In. No?
Let the Right One In. That's a good one too. And there's another film that was actually really, really, it was a comedy, but it doesn't really kind of go into vampires, but one of my favorite movies is like a nostalgia feel is Once Bitten.
Oh, I love that movie.
Jim
Carrey, yeah.
And although, was
he's drinking the meat juice.
Yes. And then another one is like, because I like vampire, I just don't like it when they start sparkling.
Yeah,
that's when I kind of.
Those are the worst.
Yeah, because you can have like, for example, one of my favorite movies was actually Dracula.
Which incarnation?
The 93. The 93 with Keanu Reeves, #overacting.
Yeah. I think that's a great one. That's aged very
well.
That
is a great one. That is a good one. I like that one a lot. Unfortunately, I kind of watched it recently, and I didn't realize how tacky it really was. But yeah, I love vampires, and a couple of my favorite films are actually from the 80s. I say Near Dark. That is actually my favorite vampire film.
Nice.
I'd say it's Near Dark. I love Near Dark.
From Dusk Till Dawn for me.
I liked Dusk Till Dawn. I really did. But it couldn't hit me like Near Dark did.
It is essentially two movies in one. If you want to be
we have so many, and I wish I would have actually sat there and looked. I wish I had all my DVDs here because I could just go through all my vampire DVDs. But yeah, Near Dark is the one that kind of hits me the most. And Martin.
Okay, cool.
Martin. George A. Romero's vampire film.
Okay.
I don't know if you
never saw that. No.
It's George A. Romero's vampire film. It's called Martin.
I need to watch that.
Unfortunately haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, I need to watch that.
Y'all have a horror show and never seen Martin. What's wrong?
I've seen plenty of other stuff.
Oh yeah, all right. Then you get credit.
So like, what about anything like Haunted House or Possession?
I was gonna say, let's do ghost stuff.
I do not like ghost films. I'm not about paranormal. I'm not about that. I do not get scared of ghosts because I'm sorry, but I'm like I wake up in the middle of the night and I hear a creak and I'm just like, it's either you and me. Either way, I'm gonna get my hot pocket.
Well, ultimately, here's the problem with ghost movies. They're really good at scaring you at the time of it, but here's the problem: go to any police station in the country, in the world, and ask them for a list of all the deaths that happened by ghost. You're not going to find a single one. Like, it just doesn't happen. So there's, you can be scared of it at the time, but there's nothing ultimately, to me, I know ghosts aren't, real. I wish they were. If I ever saw one, that'd be amazing because it would confirm the existence of an afterlife. Yeah.
Well,
but it's just, if it's not there,
I believe there are ghosts of a spiritual kind of aspect. I believe that there are spirits around, but as far as the ghost kind of hauntings, I don't believe in that.
Right.
I kind of don't, but I do believe we have other otherworldly things around us. I do believe that because we can't sit here and just be like we're the only people here. Mm-hmm. I know it sounds really out of the world, but at the same point, I don't believe in ghosts. But since we're talking about ghosts, I will say one of my favorite films is actually Peter Jackson. I don't know if you ever seen The Frighteners.
Oh yeah, I love The Frighteners.
Yes, The Frighteners.
Michael J. Fox is one of his best movies.
Yes,
absolutely.
The Frighteners.
You like The Frighteners too?
Yes,
right.
that is
Brittany
actually
from
a ghost
Off-Camera's
film.
giving a thumbs up.
Yes, Brittany. With her fancy little pick there. Oh, it's not in your glass, never mind. she took a corn on the cob handle and put it in her olive, and I thought that was so classy.
Oh yeah,
that was so classy. I loved it.
Okay.
So what about demons? Let's do demons next.
Demons, yes, I love demons.
Okay.
Actually, it's so funny because
How
my
is that
favorite
that
movie.
Different, though?
Demons and ghosts.
Yeah.
What
My
the fuck
favorite.
Are you kidding me?
My
it's completely
favorite
different. I actually have a movie idea where it's a house that a family moves into that they think is being haunted, and it is, except it's being haunted by the spirit of the dead husband and father who's actually following them and actually fights the demonic presence of the house.
I like
so it's
that.
like demon and ghost. It's the ghost of the father fighting the demonic presence for the lives of the family. I just kind of ruined that. I've never talked about that before on the channel.
Congratulations.
So, I don't know. I might have to cut that out. But trademark. It is a film I intend to make. So
what's the date right now so we can put it in the podcast?
I would say I'd intend to make that in 2020.
No, I'm saying the date right now so we can use
the date right now is
January
15th, 2018.
No, it's the 14th.
That is an IP trademark. Drew Cecil Laird.
Exactly. Cecil Andrew Laird the second. That's mine.
Well, actually, my favorite film, my number 3 favorite horror film of all time is actually Dario Argento's Demons.
Oh, I love that fucking. Is that the theater one?
Yes.
Yes. Fuck. I've talked about that so many times.
My number two scariest moment that I did my countdown was the vent scene.
Yes.
When you're going through the vent and the spoiler alert, you think they're behind him. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then you remember how she turns around?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that scene, amazing film. And then they made Demons too. The ending of Demons is amazing.
Mm-hmm. About Night of the Demons.
Night of the Demons
isn't bad. That series is good too.
But
that's more on the comedic side.
Yeah,
and that brought back the same chick ghost, the same like prom chick ghost. But it was okay. I love that. It's like that was my wheelhouse for horror. You know. But okay, cool. So we covered that. So then slashers.
Slashers. I love the slasher genre. I really do. It's hard for me to say that I like them now, but one of my favorite ones is going to be Terror Train.
Okay, I haven't seen Terror Train.
It has David Copperfield.
I haven't seen
the
it
musician.
Really, David Copperfield? Okay.
Yeah, David Copperfield. And then I love Sleepaway Camp.
Okay.
I love
Everyone
Sleepaway
Chicks
Camp.
with Dicks.
That one.
Yeah.
Chicks with Dicks. Yes.
I thought we could watch it together. The best of both worlds. Starlets with both organs. You should have seen the box. Beautiful chicks with dicks.
And actually, I saw this movie the other day, and it was very interesting.
Slasher movie.
It's a slasher film, and it's called
Don't say
Terror.
Pitchfork.
What are you gonna say?
I said, don't say Pitchfork. So
No, you want to know something funny about that? I watched that, And because you talked about that hoedown, I looked it up on Google, and I cannot hear that song anymore.
Really?
Oh, honey, I'm good. I'm like, I can't hear that song anymore. I can't. Oh, and I forgot Terror Train, Jamie Lee Curtis. I'm sorry, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Jamie Lee Curtis is in it after prom night. And what I loved about Terror Train is they kind of take the aspect of prom night, the whole story, and they do it way better.
Oh, really?
It's shot, it's a horror film on a party. It's New Year's Eve. It's a party on a train. So it's
cool.
it's like, imagine Trading Spaces, that scene where he's wearing the costume.
I know that scene in Trading Places.
Imagine the guy in the A costume is like a killer. You don't know if it's your friend or a killer.
Oh, okay.
And it has everything. It has sex, decapitation, disco. I mean,
disco.
You know, you have
I
everything.
still prefer Prom Night too. Hello, Mary Lou.
Oh, that was another one too. I love that because it has everything.
Awesome.
Like she's subject to be prom queen. I mean,
that
so
great
easy
cover
is that?
too, right? Yeah. Was it her in a locker or her in a casket?
No, she's in a locker like this.
Yeah, but
they actually brought her in for like 2 sequels too.
Yeah, she did. And she did some favor. And the girl that was kind of not possessed did some favors to be prom queen. And
how 80s is
that?
Yeah.
How 80s is
She
that?
give the guy like head or something?
Yeah, she's just like, she'd be like, I get fellatio for votes. You know?
I thought that movie was way ahead of its time, personally. Way ahead of its time.
Yeah, but Mary Lou. Yeah, but anyways, Terror Train. But Terror on Tour is actually a really bad horror film, but it's awesome. It's like this really bad band. It's like a Kiss knockoff.
Terror on Tour?
Yes.
I like
and
that.
It's awful,
Good
and
title.
I love it because the 2 best lines in it is like, hey, man, do you have money for smokes? He goes, man, how would you be something else other than a chimney?
Oh, my God.
Yeah, and then another line was, man, I want to be the after party because I want to have a bunch of girls there. And he goes, man, all the girls at this shows are dogs. And you're like all of them are dogs, man. And they stop for a high five. And I'm like, oh, man.
Jesus.
Wow. Yeah,
That's good stuff.
Yeah. And they're called the clowns. They're not called cliffs. They're called the clowns.
Ah, okay.
So, yeah. Anyways, that was a very interesting film. But, yeah.
So let's finish up then with J-horror, you know.
Japanese horror.
Yeah, Japanese horror, Asian horror, anything
actually,
like that.
I have a movie to talk about that actually you talked about. You were kind of hinting at a little bit. You said you've seen The Invited?
No, I haven't. I haven't watched it. Wait, no, The Invitation is on the
I love
thing. No.
There's The Invited. The Invited is actually a remake of a Japanese horror film called The Tale of Two Sisters.
Okay.
And there's that one. And then, of course, you have The Host that I talked about.
Love The Host.
And there's actually another Asian horror film that is actually a mix between Japanese and Korean, and it's called The Three Extremes.
Okay. Oh, I have I saw 3 Extremes 1 and 2.
Yes. Three Extremes, that's my other one. And there's just so many of them.
Those are really aggressive short films.
Yeah, and the thing about Japanese horror is it's really hard to you can't really describe Japanese horror like you would.
You have to experience
it. You have to experience
bonkers.
And that's why, I'm not about, remaking horror films as much. But I see the need to remake Japanese horrors and American audiences because, like I said, The Tale of Two Sisters.
Well, they do really great jobs.
Exactly, they do.
The Grudge and
The
Ring were fucking great.
Exactly. But the thing about, The Tale of Two Sisters, if you were to watch that and then watch Invited, I think, being that you kind of would appreciate it more, you could watch The Tale of Two Sisters and then watch Invited. And
I wouldn't have a problem,
Exactly. But a lot of people watch Tale of Two Sisters because there's a lot of okay, The Three Extremes, for example, or
Inside. A lot of people talk about Inside versus the remake.
Yes. And, for example, I don't know if you ever seen, you guys, Masters of Horror Imprint.
Of course, we've watched all the Masters of Horror.
Okay, Imprint.
Those are ones I would actually like to go back and review
individually. Do one at a time, I agree.
We've only done Cigarette Burn so far.
I would do Masters of Horror, and then I would do Fear Itself.
So you guys see,
which was the toned down version.
And I was talking about that too. The Fear Itself is actually a really good series too, and they had a couple. There's 2 episodes directed by John Lyons.
Yeah, it was just
you need to fucking watch Kingdom Hospital and do a Hail to Stephen King about that.
I've thought about it.
I actually asked you about Kingdom Hospital.
I love Kingdom Hospital.
Actually,
that man-eater creature.
It was a remake of a Lars von Trier.
Lars von
Trier.
That was
actually the first
we need to watch
question.
The Kingdom. Yeah. I have that too. Actually, I've never watched that.
Going back to when I first saw y'all's video, the first live stream I was ever on, I asked you guys about Kingdom Hospital.
Oh, really?
That was the first question I ever asked about.
I
asked y'all.
You know,
it all comes around, don't it?
As a kid, and I watched some of Rose Red, and I wasn't too big on either. So I was just like, I also didn't like
liked
the.
Rose Red.
What was the other one that had the diary of Ellen?
Diary of Ellen Rimbauer. Yeah. That was the prequel to Rose Red.
It was.
That was a scary ghost movie, I thought.
And it is quite expensive to track down.
Really?
Yeah.
And that actually takes me back to slashers because I remember the first time I watched y'all on a podcast, and there was a film that my friend was working on, and I do voice text, and because I have accents, sometimes it does come off. And I was trying to get y'all to watch TikTok trainings with knives, and it kept
sounds right up my alley.
And it kept coming out tick tannies, and you were like, Channel Sundown with Amanda. Why do you keep saying tick tannies? Like, I'm confused. And I was like, oh my god. That was when it's Channel Sundown with Amanda.
That's right. I remember when it was that. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, you know,
well, that's actually a really good segue because we have about 10 minutes left before this is a full hour-long podcast. So
I'm sorry.
Let's finish it. No. I like it. I like it.
More to do.
This happens with the good ones where people are talking about horror. So
I'm the good one.
Tell us, how did Channel Sundown come about? And what is it?
Channel Sundown actually came about is I would watch a lot of horrors. I used to watch Collider Nightmares. And actually, Collider Nightmares is what kind of got me on y'all's
Shout out.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I was watching Collider Nightmares. Yes, it came off. And one day I had a link underneath. And I was like, oh, there's a guy with long hair. And cool. Let me check this out. And I watched it. And you guys were just so much fun and stuff. And I was like, oh, I keep watching them. And I kind of sat there because I used to have a YouTube channel. Well, not a YouTube channel, but I used to do like MySpace videos and stuff like that back in the day. And before that was like Kazaa and Zanga.
I remember Kazaa. I acquired many an album on Kazaa.
Yeah, and it was Zanga and all them sites. But I was like, you know what? And I would sit there and I would talk about horror and stuff. One of my friend who actually Wahib is watching right now. A lot of my friends from Korea, they were just like, man, why don't you just make a channel? Like, you have so much to say about things. You just do it and be a healthy outlet versus, you know, because I do live in Texarkana, the town that dreaded sundown. It's very infamous. You know, they celebrate the fact that there are murders there. They, you know, if you ever seen the remake.
That couldn't be where you got the name of your channel.
Yes, that is where I got the name of my channel. Because every time I would talk about it, they were like, you live in Texarkana? They asked me about it, so I was just Channel Sundown.
And there was something else that was Boggy
Creek Monster. It's a creature feature. Actually, the stock footage of the end of Town of Sundown is actually from Boggy Creek Monster.
The
Legend of Boggy
original.
Creek.
The original.
Which I'm going to mail that copy to you because although you don't like older stuff,
I would watch it.
Yeah, it is kind of,
It's got some cheese moments. That
cheese
chase
moments,
through the backwoods or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Actually,
it feels like Dukes of Hazzard kind of thing.
Well, if you did, maybe I've been meaning to do a series of episodes on the channel where it's like Cecil finally watches the old classics.
Yeah, exactly.
So I could maybe launch it with that.
It's not,
talk shit about it.
It's not very good, Cecil.
That's okay. That's all right. That's what I expect.
Honestly,
don't expect.
That'll give me more room
remake
for
is way better.
Yeah, don't expect Magnolia because you're gonna get like, you know,
Magnolia.
You're gonna get like Dukes of Hazzard. I love Magnolia.
That might be my favorite. Well, actually, no,
I'd
say there will be blood on it.
No, I love Magnolia.
Magnolia is probably my number.
But yeah, I just my friend was telling me, he was like, you know, you have so many ideas, you talk so many stuff, you know, why don't you just do a YouTube channel? So I slowly but surely started doing it. Unfortunately, in the beginning, it was really hard because I had a lot of friends who wanted to be involved, and it was sabotaging my stuff and showing up drunk and then not showing up to like videos, and then I had to delete videos because it was on certain things I couldn't post, and it just felt like it was me against the world.
We know.
And actually, I was going to give up, and I'm not trying to toot anybody's horn, but I was going to give up. And one live stream I was watching, I commented on the horror show and I said, the world is against me. I feel like giving up. What should I do? And you, Marsha Parker, said, truck on. And Fuego said, yeah.
That's all I said.
Yeah. Well, you were mad because you were drinking and you're just like, because I told you were cute when you're flustered.
Was that live stream that he got pissed off about?
Yeah.
Oh my god, that was the first one, or
that was
just this one.
Yeah, that was the one. I was just like, oh, I want to give up because everything was going on. And you want to know something funny about that? I'm gonna call somebody out because now that I'm actually doing like a lot of stuff, the people that left me hanging have been messaging me, asking me if I need help.
Oh really? Yeah. See, that's what happened. You got to keep going, man.
Yes.
No matter what you run into, if you're trying to do it on YouTube, that's the one thing I was always told. You have to be consistent. You have to keep putting content out there, or else you're going to fall off the YouTube algorithm.
Exactly.
You're not going to have people like, you're going to fall out of the minds of people.
Exactly.
Consistent
so, I mean, we've kind of taken it a little too far. Now we're doing 2 episodes a day. But honestly, here's the thing. Jacksepticeye, Markiplier, PewDiePie, 3 of the top YouTubers on the platform, they put up 2 episodes a day most times, and I don't think it's such a bad idea to be the most prolific horror channel on YouTube.
Yeah, I mean, something in the morning while someone's going to work or whatever, and then something at
on
night
their way
when
home.
they get done.
Exactly.
Well, because I listen to y'all, because I used to do my live streams on Sunday. I would actually put y'all on my radio, and because you many times I'm like, hey guys, I'm listening, but I'm not watching. I just want y'all to know I'm there. And I pump gas, and y'all go live. I'm like, hey.
Feel so
and I put you on my... And the thing about that is, I guess in my channel, I don't have that kind of... This is what I'm passionate about. you know, I do home health during the day. I take care of the elderly. I take care of cancer patients. That's what I do. That's kind of like my full-time job.
That takes a strong person.
Yeah. And it is. And actually, I know we're on time, but I can tell this story real quick because I'm going to say it real fast because it's so funny. I have a patient that I take care of. And she says a lot of say her name, so I'm going to say it because we're going to listen. She wants to hear this when I get back. Okay. And Miss Linda Nettles, I love you so much, babe. Aww. I'm sorry I didn't call you today, but I'll call you when I leave here, I promise. But she is a huge Stephen King fan.
Oh, nice.
Huge Stephen King fan. And unfortunately, right now, she's not doing too good.
Oh, I'm sorry.
She's going through some chemo, and unfortunately, you know, right now.
Have you showed her Fuego segments?
Yes, I have. And she's just a sweetheart. And on Christmas, I showed up Christmas Day, and we exchanged presents. And this is the funniest thing. She gave me this big bag of just, like, bath products and stuff. Huh. And I was like, thank you. And at the time, it came out on digital. Oh, nice. And unfortunately, I got her that one because I didn't know I mean, I'm not sure, I didn't know she was going to make it around to, you know, you know, so I got her the digital copy.
Has she read the book?
Yes, she has. Nice. She has. Okay. She said she read every single. Her mind was kind of fuzzy, but I'm not going to nervous. Yeah. Anyways, but I gave her the digital copy, and I opened my present. It was a bunch of bath products, and I gave her this little envelope. She opened up the envelope. She looked at it, and she went, "Oh, thank you, baby. What is this?" And I said, "It's Miss Mama." Well, I call her Miss Lindell's mama. You know. Mm-hmm. I'm like, it's the digital copy of it. You can put it on your phone and watch it. She goes, yeah, but how can I put it in the TV? I was like, no, Miss Nettles, you don't put it in the TV, honey. You put it on your phone. And she went, oh, bless your heart, honey. She goes, well, put my paper over there and grab your bath. Don't forget all those bath products I got you. And put my paper on the nightstand.
She wanted a physical copy. She's like, I need something I can put on the big screen. Yeah, so did she watch it at all?
She hasn't because she hasn't figured out.
You gotta help her with that.
Well, I left. I saw her right before I left.
Oh, okay.
And so, and when I saw her last before I left, she was like, "I'm not gonna hold this tablet the whole time. What do you think I am, a superhero?" like she's just so funny. She has such a funny sense of humor.
That's cool.
Yeah. Because I can't see with my glasses, and I took my glasses off the day we were working, and she goes, well, I can't remember shit, and you can't see shit. We're just a bad person both together. Like, she's just a fabulous person, and I love her to pieces.
That's awesome.
So, well, then, shout out to Miss Nettles.
Absolutely. Shout out to Ms. Nettles. So let's finish up with you telling the audience, what can they find on Channel Sundown, and where can they go to find you?
You can go on YouTube, and unfortunately right now, I sound so embarrassed saying this, but I do not have a Twitter account. I
thought you followed me.
Listen, our Twitter has like 1,500 subscribers, and we have 16,000 subscribers, so it doesn't matter.
You have to look at my point of view, though, is honestly, I know how to edit videos. I know how to post on YouTube because I've done it forever. I know Facebook. I know all the outlets, but I've not gone on the Twitter bandwagon.
I love my Twitter.
Not.
There's a lot of kids on
there. And I know, and I'm 30 years old, and I'm just like, what's this twatter? You know, like,
I just twatted, I think.
Yeah.
Did you like just twat at me?
So what do you do on Channel Sundown on a regular basis that people can see?
I do a lot of reviews, and I do a lot of countdowns.
Okay.
Mainly countdowns is what I'm doing right now. I just love the countdowns versus the reviews because I love to kind of put out films that I don't think get a lot of appreciation. So mostly it's countdown, and I do have a friend of mine named Maddie McCobb, who's known on YouTube as Matt the Actor. He does a lot of fill-ins for me. He does a lot of the countdowns with me. What we do is I like to film my countdowns on Wednesdays, so I film them on Wednesdays. I film before that, and I post them on Wednesdays. And then I have a video on Friday, which is actually Maddie McCobb, and he does, every other day, he either does a, I guess he calls it a monster makeover, where he works in the theater.
Okay.
So he does a lot of, like, transformations, like he's done Rocky Horror, he's done a Pee Wee Herman, because he was Pee Wee Herman in a show.
Okay.
He played Pee Wee Herman, he did Samora, like, he does a lot of, like, monster effect makeovers kind of deal.
Okay.
And then he does horror musicals.
Okay.
I kind of, like, send him links and stuff, and he kind of, like, he reviewed the American Psycho musical. He's reviewed Little Shop of Horrors. He reviewed Heathers, the musical.
Nice. Oh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so he does a lot of that, and I basically kind of do, every now and then, I kind of throw a review in there, but I mostly do countdowns.
Okay.
Just because I like to kind of throw those movies out there that I don't feel like get a lot of attention.
Okay.
And then on Saturdays, we do our live streams.
Okay, so Wednesdays is an episode and Saturdays is an episode, and then sometimes there's stuff in between, or just Wednesdays and Saturdays?
Well, no, it's Wednesdays and then Fridays.
Fridays for Maddie.
Yes, Fridays for Maddie. And
Did
then
you say
Saturdays.
that was every other Friday or every Friday?
No, he does it every Friday, but he switches.
He does the makeover every other Friday. Okay, I got you.
He does the switch. He does
Gotcha.
up and switch.
Okay.
And then Saturdays, our live streams used to be on Sunday, but due to his new work schedule and stuff, our live streams are not going to be on Saturdays.
Okay, cool.
So it might be changing up soon. I'm not sure with his work schedule, but he does a lot of the kind of off the wall things because like I said, I do home health during the day, so that takes a lot of my time.
Mm-hmm.
And I love my job. So, and like I said, I love my channel and it's my passion, but at the same point, I don't want it to become a job.
Right.
Yeah. I want it to be more of where I can connect with people and it's kind of an outlet to the end of the day. So I kind of hand it over. Like, for example, you didn't know I was coming down, but you didn't know I was coming down.
I had an idea.
You had an idea.
I figured it out, but
you figured it out. But I'm a bullshit artist, so I was kind of
bullshit artist.
Bullshit artist. So I kind of lied about it, but I kind of handed over my reins to him for the week. So he's going to be posting the rest of the week.
Okay.
So we're going to see what he has entailed for this Wednesday. I'm not really sure. He said it's going to be a surprise, but that's what we do. Wednesdays,
Fridays,
Fridays,
back
and
in
Saturdays.
time at this
point.
So
it's youtube.com/
Channel Sundown.
Channel Sundown. Okay.
Hell
cool.
yeah. Well, thank you, Amanda.
Yeah.
You've been wonderful.
Yes.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much. So we're going to wrap this up before the camera shuts off on us. But thank you very much for watching / listening to this episode of the Horror Show podcast. Thank you very much, Amanda, for coming down.
Thank you for having me.
And until next time, I've been Cecil Laird.
I'm Amanda Stone.
I've been Jaime Fuego.
And remember, stay scared. Look at that. She knew exactly what to say. Didn't even have to tell her.
Like a pro.